There's a ton of different phone mounts that you can get on Amazon, eBay, really everywhere for your Tesla vehicle. But the top two I would say is going to be the Jowua phone mount and the Magbak phone mount. But there's pros to cons with both of these. So let me talk about which one I actually prefer, having used both of these extensively over the past month or so. But here's why you need a MagSafe or you need a phone mount charger. When you're driving, especially on a Tesla vehicle, and you use autopilot or full self-driving, it's nice to keep your phone in that same line of sight, maybe if you use some sunglasses, so that autopilot doesn't necessarily go too crazy and you're not looking down at your phone when you're parked at a parking lot or even stop sign or even traffic light. Of course, definitely not recommended. You definitely shouldn't be looking at your phone at all, but at least this is one of the safer ways to actually do that. And there's really only 3 accessories I recommend for your Tesla vehicle. That's going to be center console organizer, all with the floor mounts, and a phone mount. Jowua specifically, I've used this phone mount for my past 4 to 5 Teslas, and I really recommend this phone mount. But this Magbak phone mount has definitely come into the space pretty recently, and it's definitely got some pros and cons to it. It looks super sharp, it's actually a pretty strong magnet, and it charges your MagSafe phone as well and keeps it hidden in terms of the cable, so that it's pretty nice. Well, actually both of them do that. So the biggest difference between this Magbak phone mount versus the Jowua one is the Magbak one is one position. You can either put it on the left side like this, or you could buy a separate one to put it on the right side. But this is essentially it. It does have a nice OEM look to it, so it does look pretty sleeker. But besides that, it is basically one position. And so if you throw your phone on it like this, it keeps it charged, but it's pretty much it. There's no adjustability at all. But if you want that OEM type minimalist look, this Magbak phone mount is pretty fantastic. The Jowua version, you can see, has a ton of adjustability. It also is USB charging as well, but even just this part alone has a lot of functionality, and you can adjust the swing arm and you can extend it if you want to and adjust a different angle. So for this specific one, I'm going with a different mount location just to see if I like not necessarily having the phone mounted as high like this, and I'm going to try this one in a different location for the next week or so. But this one specifically, I've had on my Model S, Model X, Cybertruck, Model Y, and also Model 3, the current vehicle we're in right now. And so I'll probably continue to keep recommending this one unless you're okay with this fixed mount location like this and you like that minimalistic look. But once you install this, all of this disappears and all you see is this area, which is just the MagSafe point, which I'll show you what that looks like. Both of them essentially install the same way, and that you just pull off the sticky area and then you put it on the back side of where you want it to actually go on the back of the screen. Because we're installing it in this low corner, we do have to try to get as close to the edge as possible because the screen is kind of curved on the back side. But once it's actually installed and stuck on, it's really not going anywhere. So this is actually really nice. Now, once it's installed, I can adjust it a little bit more, plug in the USB-C and run that cable to whichever location I actually want it to go. Now, once it's actually installed, I can adjust it a little bit more, and it's a little bit lower profile. So that way, if someone's driving by, they won't see me looking at the screen or my phone screen like that. And this is a little bit of a nicer location, lower and out of view. But I'm going to try this for a little bit and see if I like it, and maybe switch to a different mounting location in the future. But you can see I'm still not blocking these buttons right here, and it's a pretty nice location if I want to rock it this way. The next part is plugging in a USB-C. This is not the cable that came with it, but I already had to wire it up. So I just want to show you that it actually charges MagSafe pretty nicely as well. And so I'm going to try this position and I'll report back on what I actually think about it. And that's one of the main differences between the Jowua one versus the Magbak one. If I wanted to install the Jowua one over here, I could adjust it higher, lower, depending on what direction you want it, or even install it horizontally over this way, because this steering wheel does block this area right here. So I don't want to install it a little bit lower than this, but I could want to install it a little bit higher, which would give me visibility of the full screen and the steering wheel won't actually block it. So let us know, which one do you actually prefer, the Jowua one versus the Magbak one? Definitely check out links down below to both of these down below in the description if you want to save some money on a phone mount for your Tesla vehicle. But either way, highly recommend this accessory, and probably my number 1 or number 2 accessory that you should get for a Tesla vehicle. But thanks for watching. Please hit that like if you enjoyed it. Comment below if you have any questions, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.